guys, it's me, Courtney, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be testing out the Jouer Essential High Coverage Cream Foundation as well as the concealer. So first things first, I did want to show you guys the box that it came in. Like, this is the actual box it came in. It made it look like extra fancy. But the one thing that I was like confused on was like, this is the foundation and this is the box. Like, why is the box like 7 times bigger than the foundation? I don't know. I got mine online at Sephora. I kind of had to guess my color. It is $38 and you actually get 0.68 ounces, which is a lot less than your average foundation. It does come in 50 shades, which is pretty awesome. Like, they do have an extensive shade range. I got the color Cafe. Now this color is a little bit dark for me, but you guys know, like, I can always make a darker foundation work versus a lighter foundation. Before I go in with the foundation, I'm actually gonna go in with a moisturizing primer. This is the Becca First Light Priming Filter. This foundation does claim to be matte, and I assure you it absolutely is. I went ahead and did a mask today instead of my normal skincare because I know what this foundation is going to do. So I'm just sort of preparing for that. With this foundation, what I've come to realize is about 1.5 pumps works for my entire face. I'm just gonna go in with 1 pump. That's 1 full pump. And as you can see, it's not super duper thick. It is a little bit runny, a little bit watery, but it does spread nicely. And surprisingly, it does have a pretty decent amount of coverage. I am going to go in with a wet beauty blender, and I'm going to go ahead and go in on this side so you guys can see that. Alright, so as you can see, like, all my moles and all of that stuff, my moles and freckles are pretty much gone. So it is a very full coverage foundation. So this is with foundation with a beauty blender. And this is no foundation. I did say, like I did mention, it is a little bit deeper, and to me it does run a little bit more red, but I couldn't find the exact match. Even though they have 50 shades, I felt like the shade above this one was a little bit too light, so I wasn't able to quite find my undertone. But even with that, it is a really decent coverage, especially with the beauty blender. So that is the coverage on that side. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my Colourpop Kabuki brush on the other side. As you guys can already see, this is like 1 full layer, but if you notice, this side is a little bit lighter than this side. I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but I'm looking in my mirror. So this foundation does oxidize fairly quickly. I don't know if it's one of those things where it dries down darker or whatever, however you guys want to say it, but it's clearly deeper than when I originally put it on. We've only had this foundation on for about 5 minutes, and as you can see, it does look dewy, but the reason it looks dewy is because I wanted to use the moisturizing primer. This foundation normally dries down super matte, so I wanted to give my dry skin a little bit more breathing room, so that's why I use the moisturizing primer. With that being said, I did want to show you guys, like, I'm already slightly creasing right here and right here. I have a dry spot right here, which this foundation does cling to. It's still transferable, so like if you touch your face, it'll get on your hands, but it doesn't necessarily disturb your makeup, like it won't come off, so that's a good thing. But right now I can tell you my face is a little bit sticky again because of the moisturizing primer. So I'm deciding on whether I'm gonna set this or not. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the Jouer concealer. This is $22. You get 0.14 ounces or something like that. It does come in 25 shades. I got the shade Butterscotch. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the concealer as well. This is one of those concealers that a little bit goes a long way, so I'm not gonna go crazy with it. I'm just gonna spread it out with my beauty blender. So as you guys can see, initially going on, it's very dewy, it's very moisturizing looking until we go in with powder, but I will show you guys that in a second. I really do like the amount of coverage you get for the little product that you use, so I do like that about this. However, I don't know if you guys are even gonna be able to see what I'm talking about. Let me see. It's almost like emphasizing my pores and my texture. It's still dewy, and again, that is from the primer, but yeah, like you can really see my pores right here coming through, as well as like creasing, and I literally just put this stuff on. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face, and it's already sort of sinking into my lines. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face, and I will come back and we can have a little chat. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom y'all in real quick because I want you guys to see a few things. Right? All right, so can y'all see this right there? This right here, that right there, can y'all see that? I don't know if y'all can see that, but can y'all see any of that? I don't know if y'all can see any of that. All right, so today I'm having like one of those makeup days where I feel like because my base was a little bit off, my contour got off, and then my concealer's off, and then my liner is off. Like, so it's one of those things. Like, it's funny because I know from afar you're like, it doesn't look bad, but when I'm looking up close, I'm just as you guys know, I have been trying this foundation out for about 2 weeks. I like to try out products with other products to see what works best with them. So yeah, I'll get into everything a little bit later, but this is essentially the face that we're going to be rocking with right now. If you are interested in any of the products that are on my face, I'm going to try to leave that in the description box below. I mean, I don't know what part of it you might be interested in, because to me it looks like poo. So it's now 11:59. We'll go ahead and round that to 12 o'clock so it'll be a little bit easier. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, run some errands, wrap some Christmas presents, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys shortly. All right, guys, I am back, and this is what my face is looking like. It is 7:14. As far as it being full coverage, I absolutely agree with that. You guys saw in the first clips, like, it doesn't take a lot to get the amount of coverage you're looking for. This is by no means a medium to buildable or light to buildable foundation. This is just a straight up full coverage foundation. Usually it is matte all day. Today's the only day that I actually have oils coming through, which you guys know I don't mind a little bit of dewiness. I do like that in a foundation for my skin type. But yeah, so, and even this to me isn't like horrible looking. I don't mind the shininess of it all. It's not really thick. It feels decent on the skin. I'm not gonna say it feels comfortable because there are certain spots where I feel like I can feel it. I do believe that if I put a powder on top to try to take away some of the dewiness, it's going to feel a little bit thicker. So I'm gonna kind of just let it be. But I will say that if you have oily skin, this is probably a good foundation for you to use, because like I said, any other day that I have used this foundation, it's been super matte. But the one thing about the matteness that I find is it is very, very dry looking on dry skin. What I noticed with this foundation is just my face tends to look and feel tight and dry. So this isn't a foundation that's for my dry skin, and I wouldn't recommend a lot of dry skin people try it. But I do believe if you have oily skin, combo skin, that sort of thing, I think this might be a good foundation for you. Every time that I have used this foundation, it does sink into my lines, so that's another sort of negative on my end. And the other thing that I notice is it starts to sort of, I don't know if it's like opening up my pores, but my pores are very noticeable right here. It's not as bad today, but on the other days that I have tried this, it just sort of opens them up in a way that I'm just not a fan of. And I know from a distance it probably doesn't seem that bad, but it just, looking up close at it, I don't like the way that my skin looks. This is one of those foundations that I wouldn't necessarily say don't try, because I know that this is a foundation that could work for somebody, but it definitely isn't going to work for me. It doesn't work for any of the products that I like to use. It doesn't work for the techniques that I like to use. It just really overall doesn't agree with my skin. The concealer as well, like I crease. Can y'all see that? You can see that a little bit. Y'all can see that. This concealer creases on me like crazy. There's no amount of setting it with anything not setting it. It does go on dewy, but as it dries down, with or without a setting powder, as it dries down, it reminds me of the Shape Tape. So if you were a fan of the Shape Tape and that consistency, then I do think that this concealer might be the way to go for you. But if you guys have been kind of rocking with me a little bit, then you know that I do not like the Shape Tape concealer. I don't like the dryness of it, and that's exactly what this is. This just isn't the foundation and concealer combo for me and my skin. All right guys, that about does it for me. Hopefully this video was helpful. If so, please give me a thumbs up. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video if the mood suits you, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.